Hello, greetings everyone. Welcome to the St. Elizabeth Catholic General Hospital and Cardiac Center, Shisong. I am NSZ, Public Relations Officer of the institution. In today's program, we shall be focusing on the World Heart Day celebration. World Heart Day celebration is commemorated every 29th of September by the international community, and the institution is not left out of this celebration. With us today, we have Mr. Ambizonyo Julius Peter, a theater nurse of the institution. So you're welcome to this program.
Thank you for inviting me.
And to the right, we have Sister Juliet Burinyoe, who is an intensive care nurse and doubles as the Deputy Director of the institution. Sister, you're welcome to this program.
Thank you.
To begin with, why commemorate World Heart Day every 29th of September?
The World Heart Day, as we know, was founded in the year 2000 to inform people around the globe that heart disease and stroke are a world's leading cause of sudden death, claiming about 17.3 million lives every year. This event is commemorated every year, 29th of September, to remind us to take care of our hearts.
Thank you. I turn to you, Sister Juliet, to find out from you, what is the theme for this year's celebration?
The theme for this year is Use Heart for Action. The 2024 theme emphasizes on the importance of using real tangible steps to improve on our heart health.
Okay, Use Heart for Action is the theme this year. Can we re-echo the theme?
Use heart for action.
Thank you very much. So I turn back to you, Mr. Julius Peter. What is the focus this year? Because we know each year you should have an objective, you have a focus to attain. What is the focus this year, 2024?
Looking at the theme of this year's celebration, which is Use Heart for Action, we are focusing on empowering individuals to better care for their hearts. Secondly, we want to urge leaders to prioritize cardiovascular health and take it seriously by taking care of their citizens.
Okay.
And lastly, we want to inspire nations to create and or support existing national plans like ours for cardiovascular health.
That's so much to achieve this year. And I want to continue to find out from you, are there some health tips that you have for the public?
Yes, there are health tips because in every education program, there must be health tips to guide the population on what to do in order to stay healthy.
Okay.
First and foremost, we focus on tobacco use. We know that in our milieu nowadays, there's an increased number of people consuming tobacco or cigarette. This tobacco or cigarette contains a substance called nicotine, which is making us to be addicted to it, always wanting to have another stick of cigarette, forgetting that nicotine can affect our brains and make us to develop high blood pressure and make us to be hyperactive.
Okay.
It also contains a substance called carbon monoxide, which is a poisonous gas that replaces oxygen in our lungs, thereby making us to have difficulties in functioning well. Lastly, it has another substance called tar, which sticks to the lung surface and makes the lung not to open up well to take in much oxygen as we need. If we look, for example, the chimneys in our houses, they are always coated with a dark substance. That is exactly what happens to our lungs when we are taking a lot of cigarettes.
That should be about the first class category of smokers. What about those who are not smoking and probably sitting with those who are smoking? Do they have any effect?
Actually, passive smokers are also at the risk of developing cardiovascular diseases because since they are in constant association with those who smoke, their percentage increase about 30% to make them develop heart diseases.
Okay.
Also, being exposed to tobacco, babies and the unborn are at risk of developing what we call sudden infant death syndrome. They are unaware of their environment. Therefore, we are the ones to better take care of these unborn and the ones that are already growing and are still very tender and fragile. Also, smoking can increase our risk of developing bronchitis, pneumonia, and asthma. And also it can worsen these situations if we have already been suffering from them. So we need to guard against tobacco use.
On tobacco, sealed cartons, it is written there, tobacco is not good for your health. Why do people keep on smoking when inscription is fully written on it?
I will say that many of us like to ignore the instruction and take it as a choice or peer group influence. If my friend is smoking, I should also smoke, which is not necessary. We should read instructions on every product and understand them before consuming. Because if you are informed that cigarettes damages your health and you indulge in smoking, then you are slowly killing yourself.
It appears that cigarette smoking is always accompanied with alcohol. What have you to say about that?
Yes, it is a common phenomenon to see in our environment nowadays where smokers are also consuming alcohol at the same time.
Okay.
You will find very few people who are smoking and not drinking. It's like a phone and a SIM card, where one is, the other one follows. Alcohol has its own ill effects on our bodies. It raises the level of triglycerides, which is a type of fat in our body. It also causes high blood pressure because when you take alcohol, the volume of blood increases. And when the volume increases, the amount passing through a vessel is bigger than this vessel can contain, thereby increasing the pressure. It can also lead us to develop heart failure and at the same time run a risk of developing obesity and diabetes. It also leads to stroke because the vessels in the brain are too small, and when the volume of blood passing is increased, the vessels can easily rupture, thereby causing stroke. Other problems related to alcohol can be cardiomyopathy, where the general heart is disturbed in its functions, or where the rhythm of the heart is having issues to handle.
Thank you very much for this elaborate explanation. I turn to you, Sister Juliet, to find out from you if there are other health tips that can be beneficial to the public.
Yes, there are other health tips that can be beneficial to the public. And here, the first thing I'll be talking about is about unhealthy diet. We are already talking about cardiovascular diseases, cardio, which means the heart, and vascular, the blood vessels. When we are talking about diet here, we are focusing on the blood vessels the more. What are blood vessels? Blood vessels are just like pipes. When we talk about pipes that water is passing through in our house, blood vessels are also pipes in our body where blood is passing throughout the system. And when we talk about unhealthy diet here, we are talking about consumption of so much fatty substances. What do these fatty substances do? They go and deposit itself on this pipe, on the walls of the pipes of the blood vessels, and make it narrow and makes it difficult for blood to flow fluently into our system. What are these food substances that contains fat? Food substances that contains fat, we have oil. Gone are the days where we used to think that those who put much oil in food are those who are rich. Now we are advising, whether you are rich or you are poor, that we should take little oil, whether it is groundnut oil or it is palm oil or it is sunflower oil or it is coconut oil, whichever oil it is. We advise that the population, we put very little in our food. Okay. We have also other substances like butter. There are some people that when they want to take breakfast, they put much butter in their bread. There is so much fat in that butter that will go and deposit itself around your blood vessels. And then we also have things too. When we go for occasions, there are occasions that come up frequently in our environment, like weddings, anniversaries, and cry dies. That when you go there, whatever thing is passing, you take it and eat. There is what we call self-control. We have to control ourselves as far as our eating habit is concerned. It's not everything that we see you eat. Sometimes you look at the way people dish food in occasions and you are really sorry for them. Or you don't know what to say, whether it is ignorance. Somebody will take a plate, will dish salad, will dish rice, and will put meat, and will put fish, and everything that is in that occasion you want to put in your plate.
As if they are doing a catch-up.
Exactly. This is really not good for our health. Okay. And especially for those who are already suffering with cardiovascular diseases, as my brother was already saying about alcohol. It's not also good to make everybody know that we are sick or to put our health situation in the market square. When they are passing with alcohol for occasion, say that I'm drinking but water. If somebody is asking you why you are taking but water, just tell the person that it's my new lifestyle.
Okay.
You don't necessarily go to be explaining to the person that I'm suffering from heart disease or that. No, you should not put your heart situation or your heart problem or your sickness in the market square.
Okay.
The next thing I'll be talking about, diet. See, part of fat, we have eggs. Eggs like this. People used to think that those who have money, they can fry 5, 6, 7 eggs and eat it. This egg is not good for our body. There is so much cholesterol in it. 1 egg per day is healthy. More than 1 egg is not good, and it is not healthy for our body. And then the next thing I'll be talking about the diet is what can we eat? We are stopping all these fatty substances and so much starch. What can we eat? We have fufu, we have rice. This is so much starch also, which is not good for our body. Anything eaten without consideration is not good. What can we eat now? We advise the population to eat so much fruit and vegetables.
Okay.
The advantage we have in our local environment is that we grew most of these vegetables.
Okay.
We have pumpkin leaves, we have vegetables, we have bitter leaves, we have okongabong. All these things are very rich in iron. And we have fruits, we have oranges, we have pawpaw, we have pineapple, and lately they are growing watermelon in our environment. So we don't need to go far. These fruits and vegetables, they have micromolecules which are very good for our system and helps to boost our immunity. That's why we advise the population to eat it. And the next thing I will be encouraging the population is about physical exercise. Some people think that those who do exercise are those who are obese, that need to do exercise to lose weight, or those who want not to put on weight, they are the people who do exercise. Okay. Exercise is not only to lose weight or not to control weight, but exercise helps to improve our mood, it helps to boost our energy, it also helps to improve our sexual health, and it is also good for leisure. And it also helps when you go, you relate with people, you express yourself, and that helps you to release stress. And this is leading us into the next step, which are other things that are harmful to our system, indirect effects. Unforgiveness. Some of us are good in chewing problems. Chewing problems, when I talk about chewing problems, there are people who, something that has happened 10 years ago, somebody keeps holding on it to it and saying that I can never forgive that person. And the person shares the story here still with so much pain, as if the thing just occurred yesterday. We are advising us to learn how to forgive and forget, because the more you hold on to those grudges, the more it increases your blood pressure. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much for that explanation. And I will turn back to you, Mr. Julius Peters. Are there some common signs and symptoms that one can already identify to say the heart is not functioning well?
Actually, true, brother. There is no disease without signs and symptoms or indication that will make us know that we have this particular disease.
Okay.
As concerns cardiovascular diseases, we can have symptoms like swelling of legs,
okay,
cough, especially when lying down, ascites, where there is an increase in abdominal size, okay, because there is much fluid in the abdomen, palpitations, where the heart is beating at a faster rate, tiredness after a little effort, difficulty in breathing because the chest is congested, shortness of breath, and always wanting more air. And sometimes there is loss of appetite because the whole system is unwell, you don't even feel asked to eat.
Okay, thank you for some of these common signs and symptoms. We'll turn back to you, sister, to find out from you as the institution is preparing for this commemoration. Are there some planned activities in the institution?
Yes, the institution is having sensitization talks going on in view of this commemoration to the staff body and to the population. Okay. And also there are panel discussions going on in the institution among the staff. And also the institution is organizing a sport work on the 28th of this month, beginning from the hospital premises, going throughout the towns and back to the hospital premises for a sport dance. And we are going to encourage the population to join us for this sport work. And for those who cannot join us, please, on the 28th and the 29th, try to do some exercises at home. For those who can run, do. For those who cannot run or take a walk because of their health activities, when you get up at home, do some stretching exercises by stretching up your arms and your legs and trying to do some breathing exercising, taking in a deep breath and also expiring. That will help to improve our lungs and also to improve our health. Thank you.
I see the plant activities are already helping the public to use their heart for action, as the theme for this year is encouraging us to do. So any last words for the public?
Yes, so the last word we shall be giving to the public is reminding the public to quit tobacco and to quit alcohol. For those who cannot quit, please reduce alcohol intake and also improve on your diet.
Okay.
Take more fruits and vegetables. One last thing which I forget when I was talking is about red meat, because this has always been a problem.
Okay.
We advise the population to reduce the intake of red meat. What is red meat? Red meat is cow meat, it is goat meat, it is pork, it is bush meat. And consume more of white meat. White meat is chicken, it is fish, it is everything of the sea. Especially for those who are already having cardiovascular diseases and hypertension. Hypertension is also a cardiovascular disease, and those who are already suffering from this should quit red meat and eat white meat. And we encourage you to drink more water. Water is good for us at every level, and also exercises. Thank you.
What a difficult take-home message for some of us in the public, but we have to do because it is about our health. Thank you for that take-home message. Mr. Julius Peter, maybe you have also a take-home message for the public.
The last word or take-home message for the public on my part is, where we find ourselves, where we live, where we work, and where we play should be free from increasing our risk of cardiovascular diseases. That means our homes, our schools, our offices, or wherever we come as a community, we should be risk-free of developing cardiovascular diseases. And lastly, the World Heart Federation and its members pass a message every year to let us know that more than 80% of these premature deaths from cardiovascular diseases can be prevented if we stick to the health tips we have just enumerated and listened to, and also advise our neighbors on how to stay healthy by using our hearts correctly.
Thank you very much for this take-home message. We want to thank you for taking off time, despite your busy schedule, to be here for this program. Thank you.
You are welcome.
And the sister also want to thank you very much for being here, and we hope that when next we call, you will be available to continue to educate the public. Thank you, dear friends, for being there and for listening and getting the message that we have this year. If you did enjoy this program, tune in for more coming from the St. Elizabeth Catholic General Hospital and Cardiac Center, Shison. It was a pleasure. Thanks for your keen attention.